Okay, so I'm about to take a new case, and I think that the main feature of this case, the thing that kind of stuck out to me right away, is that the woman is easily angered. I'm leaving identifying information about the case out. She's easily angered when someone says something to her the wrong way, so I'm going to get some more information about that. I want to understand like specifically what things would cause that. She has a developmental disorder, and so she has some physical things going on as well. She has acne, she wakes up sneezing, gets stuffy easily, has a bit of a body odor, and prone to headaches. So I'm going to sort of dive into all of that, find out a little bit more about that, find out a little bit more about her health history. You know, I think the thing that I'm, like I said, probably going to be focused on the most is quick to anger. I feel like that's going to lead me to a pretty good remedy. Oh, she also has sensory sensitivities. So I want to find out more about that. Is it like to touch, to hearing, you know, that'll help me as well. So, all right, I will update you all on this case later. Okay, so an update on this case, the case where I gave Lachesis. And we had our 2-week check-in. So after the initial consultation, we have the 15-minute just free check-in, which is included in the initial consultation fee. And we had a great response. So the client is definitely more engaged, has more appropriate responses, seems like she's in a better mood. She's saying thank you unprompted, things like that. So she's overall doing better emotionally. She's still sort of obsessing about certain things, so there's still some obsessions there. A little bit of a quick temper, but it was reported that that is less often. And also she had some like neck issues going on that seems to have completely resolved. Just conversing more. Acne might be a little better. Okay, so really great response to the constitutional remedy. I'm going to keep her on this constitutional remedy, Lachesis 200C. I may have them move up to the 1M, but not quite yet. We had a backup Nosode idea ready, and I actually had her order it because if the constitutional remedy didn't give us the big wows right away, I was going to have her start the Nosode, which was H influenza. Based on some health history with ear infections and sinus infections and things. But I'm not going to do that because I like to use the Nosodes when we have like a block in the case, when we have a case that maybe later plateaus, we're just not getting any more gains from a regular constitutional remedy. So right now we're just going to stick with classical. We're just going to take the one constitutional remedy that fits her overall symptoms, and we're going to keep going with that. She's going to have a follow-up in about 2.5 weeks, and I will assess at that time if we need to stay on that remedy, increase the potency, or change that remedy altogether, or add the Nosode. We'll see where we're going to go from there, and I'll update when we do that. Okay, so after that last 15-minute appointment, I had the client stay on Lachesis 200C, but then I had her move up to 1M after a couple more doses. And then we had our first full follow-up to talk about how she did on the Lachesis 1M, and then I ended up changing her remedy. So let me talk about this follow-up. So the feedback that I got about the case is that the client seems more engaged and interested in engagement. Her teacher noticed that she might still get a little angry, but can reset herself quickly. She seems more pleasant and owning herself. Her acne is less. She got her period, but we didn't know it because she didn't get the typical PMS. I'm going to come back to that in a moment. She's answering appropriately by saying things like thank you or yes mom, which wasn't happening before. She's not yelling at the teachers if they have to move on to the next activity. So those are some really good changes, a really good response from Lachesis. And I love this case because it is such a poster child case for Lachesis. Lachesis has a lot of that anger lashing out. And it can also, I think that the key feature that really pushed me toward Lachesis in this case, in addition to, I also did repertorize the case, which means I put the symptoms into the computer system that I have. But she would get very irritable before her period, and then as soon as she got her period, she would feel much better, like be a new person. And that's a key feature with Lachesis, a keynote feature, and that you start bleeding and that makes you better, whether that's your period or something else. And for women, that, you know, the period can give that away. So this was an amazing result with Lachesis. It did exactly what it was supposed to do. So far, we haven't come up across any blocks in the case, so we haven't added any nosodes or anything. Now, during the follow-up, I started to pick up on sort of a new theme. In other words, the top layer features of the case seemed a little bit different. And then I came up with a new remedy, which is arsenicum sulf. So there's a lot of fastidiousness, perfection in the case now, some indecision. Let me see, I have some things highlighted here. Cataloging and memorizing things. So a lot of repetition, a lot of sort of OCD type features, sort of obsessing over being online a lot, gets hyperactive, sort of running back and forth in the morning when she gets up, a lot of scripting and spelling things. Yeah, so those are the things, the main things that led me toward arsenicum sulf, in addition to repertorizing the case in the computer. And so we have switched away from Lachesis. We're starting this remedy. I told her to send me feedback after the first dose, I think, so after a week. So I'll add to this. I'm going to go ahead and put this video out now, but I'll add to this case as I go and update the video later. All right, so I'm super excited about this case. I'm super excited at just the textbook response to Lachesis 1M in this case. It's so wonderful when you pick a remedy and it just completely fits the case, and it just has such a nice response, global response, such as in this case.